What's up, guys? It's Matthew from South Beach Sports here. And today, as you can tell from the title, I'm going to be talking about why Kawhi Leonard is better than your favorite basketball player. Unless your favorite basketball player is Kawhi Leonard, of course. So, as you guys know, Kawhi Leonard and the Clippers today, they beat the Mavericks in Game 7. It was it was a close game, but, the Clippers pulled away in the end, showed that they were the better team, which I believe they could have been doing the whole series. But besides that, they got the job done. So today I'm here to tell you why I honestly think Kawhi Leonard is the best player in the league right now. And obviously LeBron has had this title for Lord knows how long, years and years and years. But I think with him going out this year, we saw with Anthony Davis going out and him going out in the first round, we saw that LeBron is still an amazing player, of course, but he's not at the same level he was. So where he can lead a team without his second All-Star, pass a team with a not 100% Chris Paul and Devin Booker as their only All-Star. Past LeBron, definitely would have at least put up a fight in Game 6 and 7. I mean, 5 and 6, excuse me. So I think it's time that, the best player in the league title has been passed. And next season, if LeBron comes back and, maybe the ankle was holding him back and he proved me wrong, then he could definitely have that title back. But for now, he has to prove it to me next season. But before I get into this, I just want to make sure y'all remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Do not forget to do those. So I'm gonna give you some time to do that. All right, let's get back into this video. So, Kawhi Leonard, 6'7", strong as a tank. I'm sure you know. We all seen the series. So Kawhi is the best player in the league for a multitude of reasons, I think, at this point. But the first reason is his defense. Now, I know everyone has been seeing Kawhi. He hasn't been playing as good as defense as he was prior, as his Defensive Player of the Year status tells us that he should. But when it matters, in Game 6 and 7, when Kawhi Leonard was guarding Luka, Luka was not playing like his normal self. You see Luka was dribbling the ball out, dribbling the air out of the basketball, looking for 15, 18 seconds with the shot clock, trying to get Kawhi switched off of him, which we can tell. Which just tells you how good Kawhi is at defense. Because when Kawhi is guarding Luka, he had way more trouble than when anyone else is guarding. Paul George is a solid defender, of course, as we all know. Luka was toying with him like he wasn't there. Of course, Zubac doesn't have a chance, and anyone else on the Clippers team did not have a chance, except for when Kawhi Leonard guarded Luka Doncic, he was having issues with him. So, of course, with his injury, his quad injury, and he's getting older, he can't do that for the whole 82 seasons for a whole game. But when they need it, they're down 3-2, and they really need Kawhi to guard the other team's best player, he will lock them up, which he proved to us that he can still do that in this series. And I just think that no other top 5 player in the league would have done that to Luka. If you look at the top 5 players in the league, I still think LeBron is there. Giannis, as much as I love Giannis, would he really stop Luka out there on the perimeter? I know he's a great defender, but at the perimeter is not really as much his strong suit. LeBron obviously is not doing that at this point in his career. Steph Curry, of course, not. It's too small. So Kawhi is really the only one out of the top echelon of players who's gonna lock down your best player when the time comes. Which in these playoffs, if you really need Kawhi to lock down and get a bucket, he's gonna need some time off to recover. But he can not lock down and stop the opponent from getting a bucket. Then he can really do that. So that's one reason why I think Kawhi is the best player in the league. And the second reason is his scoring and his efficiency while he's doing it. This past series, Kawhi Leonard averaged over 32 points on 60% shooting, which is that's ridiculous. That's Shaq type of efficiency on mainly jump shots. Kawhi was shooting a lot of mid-range pull-ups. He shot a lot of three-pointers this series. He shot 42% from three and 88% from the free throw line. So he's not just getting to the rim and shooting 60% on dunks and oops and like Shaq was. Like, he's shooting mid-range pull-ups, he's shooting three-pointers, he's shooting fadeaways, and he's still shooting 60%, which just shows you how unstoppable he is. He's worked on his game. He came into the NBA and really wasn't that much of a scorer. and it shows you how hard he worked and how unstoppable he's become. As we see in that game 6, I honestly don't understand why the Mavericks weren't double teaming him, but if he was one-on-one, he was cooking whoever was guarding him in that fourth quarter because Kawhi Leonard refused to go home in that game 6. Kawhi Leonard was hitting step back threes, pull-ups, didn't matter who was guarding him. Luka honestly did not do too bad of a job. If you watch the plays, his defense wasn't terrible. Maxi Kleber's defense wasn't terrible. Dorian Finney-Smith is a little bit too weak for Kawhi, so Kawhi was kind of taking him to the rim, but those other two were holding their own with Kawhi, and he was just hitting tough shot after tough shot over and over every time, man. So, and he was doing it efficiently throughout this whole series, which is just something that I don't think any other player besides Kevin Durant, any top 5 player, is not scoring with that type of efficiency that consistently. Kawhi is a guy who's going to give you 30 points per game on efficient shooting. As we've seen from his Raptors days, he wasn't as efficient, which is crazy because he's getting even better. He wasn't as efficient as his Raptor days, but we've seen that Kawhi can be a volume scorer, and he can be the best scorer on your team and lead you to a championship. So, Kawhi is just when he gets in his bag, he's really as unstoppable as anyone in the league, outside of Kevin Durant maybe. But besides Kevin Durant and Steph Curry, Kawhi, when he's rolling, might be just as good a scorer as anyone else in the league, on top of the defense that he plays, where he can lock up your best player. So that's another reason. And then my second reason is Kawhi's clutch factor. Now, I know everyone's going to be like, oh, what are you talking about, Kawhi's clutch? We all saw, I believe it was game 4 or 5, when he airballed. He airballed the game time 3 attempt, which, I don't know, game 5, that game, I feel like it was, the Clippers were flustered. Luka was just playing with them because that was before Ty Lue made the adjustment where Ty Lue or Kawhi, I don't know, maybe they were saving it because they knew they could do it, but Kawhi, it was before the adjustment where Kawhi was guarding Luka mainly. This is when Luka was having Zubac on him, Reggie Jackson, Rondo, and he was just playing with them. And I feel like the Clippers were kind of demoralized that game. And after what the shots that Tim Hardaway Jr. was hitting, it was just they didn't have the mental fortitude to get back into that game. Like they were done. And so Kawhi caught the ball and he said, "I'm gonna do it myself," which he hadn't been in rhythm that whole quarter. So I believe that was the reason for the air ball. And people, of course, are gonna blow it out of proportion, NBA Twitter and all that. But I feel like Kawhi is honestly one of the clutchest players in the NBA. As we've seen in Game 6, once again, that Game 6 is honestly skyrocketed Kawhi in my player rankings because it really showed what he's capable of when he's locked in. Because I feel like games 1 through 5, he's kind of conserving himself, but that Game 6, he let everything on that floor, and it really showed who was the best player on the court. Because as good as Luka is, I believe he's a top 5 player, but he couldn't affect the game on both ends, and Kawhi was just getting clutch bucket after clutch bucket and getting stops on Luka in the fourth quarter when it really mattered the most. And in this game 7, they weren't letting Kawhi beat them. They were setting doubles, so he finished the game with 28 points, 10 rebounds, and 9 assists, which is showing you that Kawhi Leonard could not only be a scorer but a playmaker as well. So that's why I think Kawhi Leonard is better than your favorite player. So this has been Matthew Newland, South Beach Sports. So don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. Peace.